Many people dream about starting their own business, the freedom it would bring, no horrible boss, flexible hours. But when it comes down to it, we find every excuse. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I'm not skilled enough. But the truth is, taking real action means risking failure. Staying in the dream and learning phase feels safer because no one can reject you there. That's where courage comes in.
I invited 6 successful entrepreneurs to my event and none of them turned up. Cheers to that. And I want to share what happened and the mistakes I made, why they didn't come. So, the first one I realized, let's do some background. So the background is that I'm doing a 21-day challenge for myself, and it's basically a challenge where I am about to enter my higher self. And what would my higher self do, for example? And I'm also challenging the perspective that productivity is everything. I want to see what happens when I am in a better energy every day for 21 days and prioritize that instead of productivity, because I feel like the amount of time it takes for me to get ready and go someplace it takes so much time that I won't be productive during that time. So I'm just challenging, maybe it's actually worth putting in the effort and being in a good energy. And a part of that was that, okay, what would my higher self do? A part of that is like, I want to be a motivational and inspirational speaker. And I said, okay, what's the first step that could get me there? And one of the steps is like, okay, I could host a small event, gather some people with big dreams so that they are interested in what I have to say. And I was like, okay, I'm going to host it in my apartment, in my living room. And so that will take away the excuse for myself, like I need a venue, it will cost money. So I invited a group of women that I met on a networking event that we connected so well, and they are amazing. And I know that they are still amazing. But somehow all of them turned the offer down. And I was like, oops. But it was free. And the only thing that they would bring is like a little snack or some sharing that we would do together. And they would get this amazing lecture or speech. And they would connect with other women. But this morning I realized why. And I thought that since it's free, they will just come. But I forget that time is the most important asset that we have. So it's not money that's the obstacle for them, it's time. Will this be worth their time? Because to be fair, they coming is mostly beneficial to me. It's me overcoming the fear of, not really the fear of speaking in front of people because I really enjoy it, but it's, I will be nervous, but it's practicing in smaller quantities to make my nervous system feel regulated while I speak in front of people. So kind of getting used to it, but it benefits me, not them. And that's where I realized that I just attended a training on, sales and, self-leadership and all that. And she said that it's just as hard for her to sell a free program than it is to sell a high ticket program. And that's why, they recommend selling a higher ticket, because it's as much effort into selling something free. So, and I honestly, I haven't even sold or tried to sell this event on Thursday. I was more like, oh my God, come to this thing. And people were like, probably, I'm thinking it's not, I think that they think that it's like, it's probably not going to be worth their time. And since I haven't even created the speech, I don't know what it will be about. How can I sell it? So this is a good learning for me, that whatever I do, whatever I invite people to, I have to make sure that they are, that it's worth their time. So what will I talk about? I know approximately what I'll talk about. And it will be on the topic, live in alignment with you, not the fucking norm, blah, blah, blah. But I have to come up with a concept, even if it's simple. I have to make sure that the person who comes understands that it will give them value, either in the people who will attend or just what the evening will bring. Interesting learning for me. And I feel like I could have gone into the rabbit hole of like, no one is coming, it must be something they don't like me. No, it's never about you. It's always about them. And it's not about that they are selfish. I'm the same. Everyone is the same. We always have to make decisions. Is this worth my time? What will it give me? So I'm thinking about, because my first initial thought was that I would wanted to invite people who would genuinely like my message, which is people who are non-normative. And now that most of the people I invited declined, I don't have so many more people I know in person that could come. So I have normative people left in my circle, and I don't think that they will actually enjoy me ranting about, follow your dreams and, become aligned and take action in the way you want, because they don't have that desire. And also another thing is that I invited a group of women who are a lot more successful than me, which is interesting for me, but not as much for them, because I'm still in my building phase, I'm still in my figuring it out phase, and I gave them zero reason to come to me in my offer. I know that it's not that they don't like me. I really believe that they do. It's just that I gave them zero reason to. Absolutely none. So it makes sense. And another thing that I did wrong was that I didn't match my offer to my audience. So I invited highly successful businesswomen, but the offer that I didn't even tell them what the offer was, more than an inspirational speech. The offer would be more like talking about follow your dreams or, fuck the norm, blah, blah, blah. But these women are already killing it. So they maybe don't need that. Maybe they might need, be more interested in like branding or how to run your business in this way, or how can you hire people. That might be interesting to them. So I absolutely did a mismatch in my offer and my audience. What I also realized is that it's so important to make sure that you decide your own value. Because if you create an offer and it flops and you feel horrible and you feel worthless and you feel like you want to hide, that's actually giving your power away. But this goes hand in hand with if you feel insanely uplifted, if you get a huge response and feel so worthy, you will also feel unworthy when you don't get the response you want. That also means that you give your power away to your audience, to your customer, how you will feel. And that is pretty fragile as a, starting point. So if you can be able to give yourself the worthiness and say like, I'm worthy, and they didn't reject me, they rejected the offer. And then you can see more like, okay, how can I tweak the offer? How can I make that offer more irresistible for the client or the customer? And yeah, I feel like that's a really good mindset shift. And the fear of being rejected, it's so easy to be in the space of dreaming, in the space of learning and wanting to start a business, wanting the freedom, right? But the fear comes in when you actually start to take aligned action, because then you're like, shit, if that's the first time people will actually be able to reject you, and you will feel a sense of failure, maybe. And so I guess my outcome is actually a part of the worst case scenario for a person who starts taking action if you get rejected, because it can feel absolutely horrible. But if we can learn to distinguish between our worth and the worth of the offer, I think we have come a very, very long way. And if you're able to feel like, I'm fucking awesome regardless, that's pretty dangerous, that you can be pretty unstoppable. And this has been a really good lesson for me. And I was like, oh, should I do everything I can in my power to make this event happen? Like, maybe I could go out in the streets and, pitch this to strangers and they can come. Just like, I see a lot of people do on other YouTube videos, more like challenges and stuff. But I was like, but that's not really the way I want to run my business, and that's not really how I don't think that's in alignment with my higher self, to be honest, to go out in the streets and bring in strangers. And yes, it could be a fun experiment, a fun challenge, but this challenge is not about doing the most intense, challenging, out of comfort zone thing you can think of. This challenge is about stepping into the higher self and doing aligned action, taking aligned action and being in the energy. And maybe this energy, or maybe this burst of ideas that I had yesterday to invite people to this event, maybe the whole lesson is for me to learn this, to understand that I have to make it more about the customer, the audience, not about me. Because even if I'm like, I'm going to challenge this, it's so easy to get into my own nervousness, to get into my own fear, but it will never be about me. So if I want to help people, it will always have to be about them. How can I provide the value? How can I help them? I have to communicate that really clearly. And yeah, this is the game, and I'm in for it. And I think this was an amazing lesson, and let's just redo it and come back stronger, plan out another kind of offer that is much more appealing. And to be honest, I feel like I don't need to practice that much to speak in front of an audience. I will regardless be nervous, but I think that this was the lesson. This was definitely the lesson. And also feeling like rejection isn't that horrible, to be honest. It's just like, okay, let's try something else. And on the topic of detaching your worth from people's reactions and people's, if they find it valuable or not, it's like, I don't know. It's so good to detach yourself from the sale, detach yourself from the outcome, really. If you can be so strong in yourself and be like, now this time I didn't provide any value, but the next time I will. And if I can be in the like, this is me, I know I'm fucking awesome, and this is my offer. This offer can help you in this way. And it's up to you. It's up to you if you want it or not, if you want to level up in that area that I can offer. And be like, my life won't really change if you don't buy it. So I think that's a really powerful energy to be in. Yeah. Yep. We're on to something. Yeah. All right. Let's get to work.